What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Pot at the Palace After Dark. I'm your host, Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas, coming to you from the neighborhood, taking a little stroll here. It's a little late Friday evening, early Saturday morning for folks who are maybe making the trip over to Dallas for this Arkansas-Texas Tech game that we've been looking forward to all week. I mean, have we previewed this game more than any game throughout the course of the season? It's crazy to have 7 full days between games at this point. It's a little too much for me, if I'm being honest with you. I'm ready to see the Razorbacks get back out there and get after it. Andrew and Ellis and I are going to be headed, probably by the time you guys start watching this, over to Dallas. We're trying to get there early, get the lay of the land, check it out, and then obviously get to our seats and really enjoy this game. A heads up for everybody who may not be familiar, we are going to be doing the Pot at the Palace post-game show like always, but usually we're kind of from the home studios, or we have, everything's already set up and we're ready to go. As soon as the final horn sounds, we go live. Not going to be the case for this game because we cannot get into Chop Victory Sports Garage until right after the game. So give us 15 minutes or so. We're just going to quickly set up our equipment and then get this thing rolling as soon as the game ends. And hopefully we're talking about a Razorback victory. 11 a.m. American Airlines Center in Dallas. It's Arkansas and Texas Tech. A top 20 matchup. It's going to be really, really exciting. Now, if you're looking for the full preview stuff, well, 2 days ago on the Pot at the Palace, we had the full matchup breakdowns, right? We talked about every single position, who has the advantage. We broke down the benches, all that good stuff. Yesterday, we got into the stats to strive for, where Arkansas might have an advantage. We went in depth in all that. I was coughing my head off. It was crazy. It was rough. I kept having to pause the thing. If you guys were watching closely, you'd probably see what, was that a glitch? No, it was just I had to pause and then start again because I had to cough. It was crazy, but I left a few things out. I knew that I wanted to kind of wait and talk to you guys about the fun stuff, right? Our picks to click, bold predictions. We got some SARACEN prop bets and things like that. Figured we'd do that with a little, walk and talk, if you will, style, production here, and give people something to listen to on Saturday if they're traveling to the game. Little coffee club action. This might only be a one coffee type of show as opposed to, I don't know, maybe some of you drink an entire pot in the morning, who knows? But let's get into that, let's talk about it, and let's get geared up for this game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So when we talk about picks to click, what that means for me is like, who do I feel really confident in having a big game? It doesn't always mean that it has to be, Arkansas's leading scorer, or it doesn't have to be a monster game or anything crazy. It's just somebody, whether it's matchups or sometimes it's just gut feel that you kind of have a vibe of, man, I think they're going to perform well in this one. I'm taking the low-hanging fruit here, and I'm going with Carter Knox, right? And, maybe it's because we got to talk to him on Thursday, and I just liked his demeanor. I liked his mindset. I think about how well he played against Texas Tech in that Sweet 16 game last year. He said it himself, and I think we all agree, that was his best performance as a Razorback. He had 20 points in that game. It was on the biggest stage that Arkansas played on. He hit 4 3-pointers, did some clutch stuff in there late. He looked phenomenal. And, what did Coach Cal say? Hey, we went back and we showed him some clips from that game because that's how we wanted to play. It's the same thing they did with Malik Ewan when it came to his time at Florida State against Louisville. They're doing that with Carter, trying to get him going a little bit, and I think this could do it. Now, he downplayed a little bit, saying, this is just like any other game for us. Yeah, right, man, we know better than that. This is a motivation game for a guy like Carter Knox, and this is the kind of get back game. You need a little extra chip on your shoulder. Maybe it's something that can get him going, because if Arkansas is going to take that step to the next level of what they're capable of being as a team, it's going to require guys like Carter, guys like DJ to be a little better, to elevate their play and get up on the level with those freshmen right now who've been carrying it to a degree. We know that Carter's good for it, and it's crazy. If you go look, Michigan State, Duke, Louisville, the 3 big-time games that Arkansas has played, Carter struggled. He's averaging under 3 points per game in those games. That's not going to get it done. That's not good enough. But what do we always say about Carter Knox? It's when he comes out of the gates and he's flying around, he grabs an early offensive rebound, or he gets on the floor for a loose ball. When you see that energy from Carter, it usually means that he's going to have a pretty solid night. I would be shocked, unless he just doesn't get out of bed in the morning, he's not awake for that 11 a.m. tip. I would be shocked if we don't see high energy, high effort from Carter, and maybe that's exactly what he needs to get himself going. The man is shooting 50% from threes so far this season, which is crazy. I know it's not super high volume. It's over 2 threes per game. Maybe this is a game where he takes 4 or 5 of them. I'm okay with that if Carter wanted to do it. But again, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. from Carter. I don't know that he'll even match the 20 points that he had in the Sweet 16 against these guys, but I think he's going to be highly motivated. I had the feeling he's going to be locked in. If you told me at the end of the game that he finished with, I don't know, 13-7, 14-6, something like that, I'd say, hell yeah, good job, Carter Knox. And that probably equates to a Razorback win if the other guys do what they're supposed to do. A few bold predictions for you. Remember, these are bold predictions, so things that you might not expect to happen, but maybe they will. One that I've got for you, this might be the boldest one we've had yet. I'm going to predict that Arkansas makes more three-pointers than Texas Tech in this game. Now, this is crazy because Texas Tech shoots more of them. They shoot a little bit higher percentage in Arkansas. They're making about 11 per game. Arkansas is at, I think, 8.7 made threes per game. If you go look at Arkansas, now they've defended the three really well. They're holding teams to 27%. And honestly, the better teams that they played have shot worse, which is crazy. Some of these mid-majors are the ones that have been lighting them up a little bit. So that's an interesting angle there. But you look at Texas Tech's three-point defense, also good. Like Arkansas's, nobody has made more than 8 threes on them all season, and nobody's attempted more than 24. I don't think either team is just going to go crazy from three in this game, but if you told me, oh, Arkansas made 9 threes, Texas Tech made 8 at the end of the day, I would say, hey, that's good for Arkansas because as we talked about yesterday, they've got some advantages in other areas there, but it wouldn't be surprising if Arkansas was able to do that. That's going to be one of my bold predictions. Another one, I'm going to go with the Trevin Brazile double-double. And is that really that bold? The first one's definitely way more bold than that. But, man, I just think back to that game. I keep going back. And I know you got to look into the future. And you got to be able to turn the page. And you can't think about last year when you got a big game going for this year. Different circumstances. Sure, I understand all that. But, man, oh, man, Arkansas just got crushed on the glass. You guys remember that when 22 offensive rebounds given up. Trevin played okay, but it wasn't his best in there. He was a culprit for some of the rebounds that Texas Tech was able to get there as they made that comeback and frankly stunned Arkansas with a chance to get to the Elite Eight. Just like a guy like Carter is going to be highly motivated, and DJ, who missed the final shot there for Arkansas that could have moved him on. You think Trevin hasn't been thinking about that? You think that didn't motivate him throughout the course of the season? And he's playing well for Arkansas. He's averaging about 13 points and 7 rebounds. So, and he's had double-doubles already this season. I think he's going to get one in this game. And one area where I think he's, is lacking the word, yeah, maybe so. Trevin's only got 10 offensive rebounds in, I guess he's played in 8 games instead of the 9 for Arkansas so far this year. We know that he's a far better offensive rebounder than that. Don't be surprised if this is a game where he gets 2, 3, 4 of those. And if he winds up at the end of the day with 13 points, 10 boards or something, you feel pretty good about where you're at if you're Arkansas. Another bold prediction that I have, and I think this is very bold, we know how reliant Texas Tech is on Christian Anderson and JT Toppin. We know how good Arkansas' starting lineup is. I'm going to say both teams' leading scorers in this game come off the bench. That's right. Might be a little crazy. Now, is it that crazy for Arkansas? Because you know I'm talking about Malik Thomas, right? Yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all. He might wind up being Arkansas's leading scorer for the season if it's all said and done. He's second on the team right now behind Darius Acuff. So I do feel like Leak is due to have a big game against a big opponent, maybe a little bit more efficient. If you put a 20 spot on somebody, it's going to happen at some point. It wouldn't surprise me if that's on Saturday. And then for Texas Tech, if anybody was going to do it, it'd be Lawan Watts coming off the bench. It's Darion Williams 2.0. He was starting for him early. I think he's their third best player, but now they're bringing him off the bench, and he is a guy who's capable of putting a good game on some folks, and it's kind of those weird matchups between the 3 and the 4. Because is he a little bit too physical for your standard 3-man? Is he a little bit too more athletic and guard oriented for a 4? I could see it where Arkansas really pushes all their chips in to trying to slow down Anderson and Toppin, and maybe you contain those guys a little bit, but then somebody has a big game. Wouldn't surprise me necessarily to see that be the case in this one. And the last one that I have for you, and maybe this is bold, and we'll get into final score predictions in a minute. I'm taking Arkansas to win this game, and I'm taking them to win it by double digits. I just have a feeling that Arkansas is going to be ultra motivated. And when this team's jacked up and they're all in and they're playing at 100% and losing themselves within the team like Coach Cal talked about, think about it for a second, because you got all these guys who are trying to figure out their roles. There's a level of newness with this Razorback team. You got some really talented newcomers in here. These guys are a band of brothers. Carter Knox talked about the chemistry that they have built so far with this team, and that's all great. But you really want them to come together. If I'm Darius Acuff or Malik Thomas or Nick Pringle or whoever, and I'm seeing how much this means to Carter and DJ and Billy and TB and how they've kicked it up a gear with the way that they're playing, how serious they're taking it, how hard they're working, the extra effort, diving for the loose balls and everything. That kind of stuff would be contagious to me. And I just think if Arkansas is firing on all cylinders, I think they're deeper. I think they have a deeper depth of talent, although Toppin and Christian Anderson might be the two best players on the floor. You never know. They're capable of that on any given night. But I think it could be something that really sparks Arkansas over the top with an emphatic type of win here. And boy, if they did it, if that bowl prediction came true, woo, buddy, I wouldn't be able to tell us nothing going into the next week and getting ready for this Houston game. That would be crazy. A few bets from SARACEN, those double R props that I found interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. One of them, I got to look at my notes here because I don't remember the exact odds off the top of my head. DJ Wagner. We're expecting big things from DJ in this game. He's slowly been starting to come around. He's coming off of a good second half performance against Fresno State. Going to be highly motivated in this one. You can get DJ Wagner over 3.5 assists and over 1.5 steals. That's not much. 4 assists, 2 steals. That's something DJ Wagner is very capable of doing. You can get that at plus 650. Plus 650. That's crazy value. I'm definitely going to get on that. Malik Thomas, I just said I think he might be Arkansas's leading scorer in this game. You can get him at over 15.5 points. So, okay. He averages more than 15.5 points and over 4.5 rebounds. He has led Arkansas in rebounding in multiple games this year, and that's right about what he averages on the season. You can get that at plus 450. Pretty good deal. Another one that I like, Carter Knox. Right, we talked about him. I think you can pick your poison with a couple different ones here. If you think, like I do, that Carter Knox is a guy where when he's really getting after it and competing on the backboards, it's when you know you're going to get a good game out of him. Well, you can get Carter at over 7.5 points and over 6.5 rebounds, plus 325. That's good value there. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, because you don't know, is he going to hit a couple threes? What is this going to look like for him? You can get him at 7.5, over 7.5 assists and rebounds combined at plus 250. Interesting, to say the least. So there's a handful of things there. They got some of the other cool stuff over there at BetSaracen. If you're not tapped in yet, you can sign up today. Just go to betsaracen.com, or you can download it on your Apple, your Android, whatever kind of phone you have, and use the promo code when you're signing up, Inside AR, and you can do those bonus bets. You bet your first $25 real cash, and you get $125 in bonus bets right away. It's a pretty good deal. They've got like the first scorer, you know, which Razorback's going to get the first points there. I think DJ was the starter with the highest odds at plus 500. Wouldn't surprise me to see that be the case. So thought that was interesting. I mean, they've got like, do both teams hit a 3 in the first 2 minutes? How many points are scored over and under in the first 4 minutes of the basketball game? It's some cool stuff to mess around there with if you're into spending a little bit of money, but a lot of people are spending money just to get down there and go check out this game. Let's talk about some final predictions here for this one. You know, we've talked about it all week that this is almost like a pick'em type of game here. If you go to KenPom, it's projected to go 76 to 75 Texas Tech. Okay. If you go over to Torvik, it's projected 77 to 75 Arkansas. So another tight game. If you're going by the Pot at the Palace lines, we're going to go 81 to 71 Razorbacks. I know it was my bold prediction that Arkansas would win by double digits, but I'm going to stick with it for my actual prediction here. The closer we get to this game, the more bullish I am about Arkansas's chances to do something pretty impressive here. This is an opportunity. Now, they've already taken advantage of one last week against Louisville. You did what you had to do. We know that Arkansas had these 5 games, these marquee type games in the non-conference, and it's going to give you a hell of a strength of schedule. Ideally, you win some of them. And they had a couple opportunities missed early in the year, but they were able to bounce back and get it done against Louisville. But that was at home, right? That was at home. Can Arkansas get on this neutral floor type of environment and finish the job? You had a true road game against Michigan State, and you came up 1 possession short. You had that neutral site game against Duke, and Arkansas battled for the full 40 minutes in that one. It was a 1-point game with 3 minutes left, and they got away from it. They weren't able to make the winning plays there in crunch time. Now they've proven they can do that with a majority home crowd intact. What are they going to be able to do on a neutral floor, a tournament-style game here? And both fan bases are going to travel well. We know there's going to be a ton of Razorback fans there. I know there's going to be a lot of people making the trek from Lubbock. If you go look at, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, wherever, you'll see that there's not a whole heck of a lot of tickets available in there. I think it's gonna be a pretty packed crowd. It's gonna be an awesome environment between two really, really good basketball teams, and I can't wait to see how it all goes down. So everybody who's driving out there today, make sure that you travel safely. We're gonna be doing the same. Andrew and I are looking forward to being down there. We're gonna meet John. John's down there already, and make sure you come hang out with us afterwards. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in, tuning in with us as always. Apologize, we're not doing the you know, the fancy schmancy graphics and a bunch of stuff like that. We just wanted to walk around and talk a little bit of ball and throw some predictions out there for you to get your morning started, and we'll break it all down in the aftermath afterwards. So it's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas on the Pod the Palace. You guys enjoy the game. We'll catch you afterwards for the Pod the Palace post-game show. We'll see you there.